Muted.
Welcome to the 2017 Open Enrollment Educational Meetings for Omaha Track and all of our subsidiaries, including Ribbonweld and Omaha Track Equipment. During this webinar, we will go over an overview of the 2017 open enrollment process, highlight some of the key benefit changes that take effect January 1st, go in detail on an overview of each of our insurance plans, and go over some Did You Know information, including highlights on Best Care EAP, Health Savings Account, Teladoc services, and the various apps and websites supported by our carriers. We will conclude by talking about upcoming 401k plan changes that are coming in the first quarter of 2017. The open enrollment process for 2017 is currently open. It opened on Monday, November 14th and goes through Friday, December 2nd. Open enrollment packets were mailed the weekend prior to Monday, November 14th. So you should have received a paper format either in your workplace or via mail if you are one of our traveling employees. And you should have also received an electronic version via email from myself, Kristen Anka, Human Resources Manager, that was sent on Monday, November 14th. This year, the open enrollment process is active, which means every employee must complete their open enrollment wizard in SyncHR, even if you do not want to make any changes to your current coverage or if you're waiving coverage for next year. Either way, you must complete the wizard, so please be sure to do so by Friday, December 2nd. The fourth bullet point here on the slide talks about this being an amnesty period to remove any ineligible dependents from any of our benefit plans before we conduct a dependent eligibility audit in first quarter. Due to the increase in rates we had on our medical plan and just as a general best practice in the benefits arena, we will be conducting a dependent audit to ensure that all dependents covered on Omaha Track's benefit plans are in fact eligible for coverage. This means that your dependents should be either your children or your spouse being via legal marriage, and your children either being your own by birth, adoption, or that of your legal spouse's children by birth or adoption. Information on detailed plan documents and other good to know benefit information is available at the website outlined at the bottom of the screen, www.omahatrack.com/benefit-plan-documents. This website is a hidden web page, which means you cannot navigate to it from the omahatrack.com main website, but if you type it into your web browser, you will be able to access this information. Some of the key changes to our benefits that are taking place January 1st of 2017. We're really excited to announce that we will be introducing group accident and critical illness insurance through Allstate. For those of you that are not familiar with what accident and critical illness insurance might be, many people recognize the Aflac commercials which highlight accident coverage. We'll go in detail on these plan documents here in just a couple of slides. Also new for January 1st will be enhanced in-network coverage for dental. This means that there is no negative impact to the dental plan, just an increased coverage amount for those that choose an in-network provider, and there will be no changes to out-of-network coverage. We will now be offering dental-only coverage, which means that anybody that currently waives medical or will choose to waive medical for 2017 will be offered the opportunity to elect dental-only coverage, whether it be for themselves, their self and their spouse, their self and their children, or their entire family, and this will include an employer contribution, which thus reduces your out-of-pocket costs for premiums. Also new for January 1st of 2017 is a traditional vision insurance plan. Previously, we offered a vision reimbursement on our dental coverage, but due to high utilization of that reimbursement, we thought it would be in the best interest of our employee to offer a traditional vision insurance plan. We will go over the details of this coverage in the next upcoming slides. Also effective January 1st, we're increasing the maximums for both short-term and long-term disability benefits. We currently have employees that in order to have 60% of their regular earnings, whether that be on short-term or long-term disability, they would max out before they actually got to their true 60%. For this reason, we've increased the STD weekly maximum to $1,500. and the LTD monthly maximum to $10,000, which allows us to ensure that any of our employees that go out on disability would truly get 60% of their regular earnings. Lastly, we have increased rates for medical coverage on all coverage levels, employee only, employee spouse, employee children, and family, though there are no medical changes. Now let's transition into an overview in detail of each of our insurance plans. First, we'll start with our medical plan through Aetna. This screen highlights in-network coverage and the way that the plan is set up as it stands today and as it has been here for some years in the row of history. So when you look at this slide, this chart is also found in your open enrollment brochure. On the left-hand side of the chart, it focuses on those that have employee-only coverage. The right-hand side of the chart focuses on those that have a dependent on their plan. So that includes employee spouse, employee children, and family coverage. The amount in the red box for each of those columns is the maximum out-of-pocket for our employees in the case of medical charges. Once again, that being in-network coverage and services. The maximum an employee will pay for employee-only coverage out-of-pocket after their weekly premiums is $1,750 per calendar year. For those with dependents, it's $3,500 per calendar year. Once you've hit that threshold, the Health Reimbursement Account, or HRA, which is administered by Mid-American Benefits and funded by Omaha Track, begins covering any of your additional out-of-pocket expenses. That's another $1,750 for employee only and $3,500 for employee with dependents. When you add together that dark gray and red box, that's the actual deductible as it states in the Aetna policy. It's important to understand that the Aetna policy is separate and apart from our Health Reimbursement Account, or HRA, through Mid-American Benefits. Anytime you're seen by a provider, if they're quoting you coverage, they're going to refer to that higher deductible under the Aetna plan, which is $3,500 for employee only and $7,000 for employee with dependents. Please remember the Health Reimbursement Account covers half of that deductible as those expenses are charged, and the company pays those on your behalf. The light gray box at the top of each of those columns is the coinsurance up into the out-of-pocket maximum as it states for the Aetna policy. Once again, all of these expenses in the gray are covered by the Health Reimbursement Account, which is funded by Omaha Track. Whenever you have a claim for medical, you should receive 2 EOBs by mail, one from Aetna and a second one from Mid-American Benefits. This will highlight what Mid-American Benefits has paid on your behalf if you have reached that half of your deductible in the red, which you are responsible for. If you ever have questions or need assistance in figuring out what bills you're responsible for paying, or when you might have reached that threshold and paid the maximum out-of-pocket under the HRA, please feel free to contact me, Kristen Anka, your Human Resources Manager, to get a detailed report run and get you in touch with our claims advocate through our insurance broker. Now transitioning to our dental plan, which continues to be covered through Emeritus. On the slide here, the chart highlights the typical plan benefits, both in-network and out-of-network. Type 1 is any of your preventative care, including your regular cleanings, fluoride for children, and x-rays. Type 2 includes any of your basic restorative, such as a filling for a cavity, and Type 3 is any of your major restorative, such as a crown. As you can see, out-of-network remains the same at 100% Type 1, 80% Type 2, 50% Type 3, based on the 90th percentile of usual and customary dental expenses. The maximum covered per person under the plan is $1,500 per plan year, which runs on a calendar basis. There is a $50 deductible per year per person for Type 2 and Type 3 services. In network, we enhanced the Type 2 coverage from 90 to 100% and reduced the deductible from $50 per year to $25 per year per insured for Type 2 and Type 3 services. Other plan benefits include child orthodontics, with 50% of coverage up to a $1,000 lifetime maximum per individual, Dental rewards, which allows qualifying members to carry over part of their unused annual maximum. For example, dental rewards is beneficial for those employees who get their regular cleanings but don't often experience dental work. In the event that you do have an expensive dental claim, you have the opportunity to increase your maximum coverage from $1,500 a year up until the maximum allowed under the dental rewards plan. You can find more information on the dental rewards benefit in the Emeritus Dental Plan Highlights document found on the Benefit Plans Documents webpage. At the bottom of the screen here, you can see that we removed the $250 reimbursement per insured under this plan for vision coverage. That is because we now offer a traditional vision insurance plan. However, we did decide to keep the LASIK Advantage benefit on this plan. Any employee or their dependent that's covered under the Emeritus Dental Plan is eligible to use the LASIK Advantage reimbursement or coverage up to $250 per eye for a lifetime benefit. This means you can get up to $500 covered if you have LASIK eye surgery for both eyes as long as you've been on the plan at least 3 to 4 years. For those in their first or second year on the plan, you can still earn up to $125 per eye. Now on the screen is an overview of the new vision plan, which is offered through Emeritus utilizing the VSP Choice Network. Two big names covered on the VSP Choice Network include Costco Optical and VisionWorks. Now these are not the only two covered on this network, but they're two of the well-known national coverages that are available in network on VSP. Looking at the rest of the slide, it is a snapshot of the highlight sheet for the vision plan focused on the Plan 1 plan summary. In the middle of the screen, highlighted in the gray, is the coverage for those that go in network for that VSP Choice Network or with any of their affiliates. If you go to an out-of-network provider, on the far right in the white would be the column you want to focus on. The benefit of this new vision plan is that it is no longer a pay and then submit your expenses with your receipts along with a claim form to get a reimbursement, but you're actually covered at the time of purchase and exam. There's a $10 exam deductible as well as a $25 eyeglass lenses or frames deductible. Lenses are then covered in full, and the fit and follow-up exam for the contacts can cost a member up to $60, though it varies by your affiliate or choice network provider that you see. Contacts are covered up to $130 unless medically necessary, and frames will be covered up to $130. Exams and lenses can be taken advantage of every 12 months and new frames every 24. If you have any additional questions on the new vision plan, I encourage you to review the highlight sheet included in your open enrollment packet, or they can also be found at www.omahatrack.com/benefit-plan-documents. Your cost of coverage is highlighted on this sheet for each of the plans that we have already discussed. Those that are on the medical coverage still have dental provided at no additional cost. They are highlighted in the top left corner of this slide. Dental only coverage is highlighted in the bottom left corner, and the new vision coverage, the cost of the new vision coverage is in the bottom right corner. For those that do have medical including dental coverage, you will see there is an increase in the cost of coverage for all coverage levels due to the increase we received from Aetna. 2016 has been the most expensive claims year we have ever experienced at Omaha Track. Our claims expenses have more than doubled in the initial 9 months on our Aetna plan, though our headcount or number of insureds have remained steady. This obviously has contributed to the high increase we received from Aetna or that we would receive at any other carrier should we have looked into other coverage options. Our total increase was 16%. Omaha Track did our best to absorb as much of that increase as possible, but was unfortunately forced to share some of that cost increase with the employee. It's important to note that Omaha Track still values the importance of providing a solid benefit package offering to our employees at an affordable cost. We cover 88% of the cost of the employee's coverage, 60% of the cost of children, and 40% of the cost of a spouse. Those rates reflected on the screen are what you're going to see as the weekly deduction applied to your paycheck. The dental-only coverage includes an employer contribution and is a very affordable coverage available to those that waive our medical coverage through Omaha Track. And the vision coverage is completely voluntary, unrelated to any of your other elections. So any employees that waive medical and even waive dental only would still be able to elect vision. Or if you do have medical coverage or dental only coverage, you can elect the appropriate level of vision coverage to meet you and your family's needs. One of the new coverages we're very excited to offer this year is the accident coverage through Allstate. So you might wonder, what exactly is accident insurance? Many people are familiar with the Aflac commercials you typically see on TV. Aflac is advertising an individual accident policy. Allstate would be who our coverage is through, though they are definitely a competitor of Aflac. They spend less on advertising, which means a bigger savings in your pocket. They also target employer platforms to share their benefits rather than the individual market. Accident insurance is affordable supplemental insurance that works in conjunction with your health insurance in the event of a covered accident. However, it's important to understand that this benefit is available to all employees that are benefit eligible, regardless of your enrollment in any other company-provided benefit plan. The accident insurance would provide a cash benefit paid directly to you, the employee, in the event of an accident for any of your covered family members or yourself. I'm going to briefly play a video from Allstate, which gives you a little bit more information on this coverage.
Accidents happen. If you had an accident, would you be prepared to pay the extra expenses related to your recovery? Accident insurance from Allstate Benefits can help cover some of the unexpected out-of-pocket expenses. Coverage can include benefits for hospitalization, dislocations, or fractures, and more. And accident insurance can work well with your major medical plan, closing gaps in coverage. It pays cash benefits that can help you pay for copays, deductibles, or you can even use it to help cover other payments, such as your utility bills, child care, and more. Our coverage can help offer peace of mind and financial support when an accidental injury occurs. Here's an example of how the coverage might work. Carol is walking to work and slips and falls on the pavement. She is taken by ambulance to the hospital and undergoes surgery. Sounds expensive, doesn't it? Fortunately for Carol, she has accident insurance from Allstate Benefits. After filing her claim, she receives cash benefits that can help her pay for the expenses associated with her care. She can even use it to help cover her everyday living expenses, which is especially helpful. Accidents happen. It's never too late to start protecting yourself and your loved ones with accident insurance from Allstate Benefits. Are you in good hands? You can be.
To give you a little bit more information on the new accident coverage through Allstate, we'll walk through a sample payout for the typical ACL tear under Plan 1. The accident coverage will be offered at two different plan levels, Plan 1 being a lower benefit and Plan 2 being a higher benefit, which we'll look at here in just a moment. For the sample payout of the ACL tear, you would get $1,000 for the ligament tear itself, $200 in the event of a trip in the ambulance, $200 for the emergency room visit, $1,000 for the surgery with admission, $200 for having an x-ray, $200 for physician follow-up, $100 for physician treatment, and $360 for physical therapy, along with $250 for the appliance hardware required for the injury recovery period. This totals a cash benefit of $3,510. So you might be wondering or thinking to yourself, well, if I have employee-only coverage, my maximum out-of-pocket expense is $1,750, considering I have not had any other medical charges or expenses This would more than enough cover that out-of-pocket maximum for the employee. It's important to understand that Allstate, as they outlined in their video, these benefits are paid directly to you, not to the provider. This gives you the opportunity to pocket that additional cash, or in the event that you utilize your health savings account, use your HSA funds to pay your medical expenses, and then keep the $3,510 to cover other expenses you might have. So what's the cost of coverage? By offering it through Omaha Track, we save you money on premium by offering at a group rate which offers reduced rates. Plus, it's pre-tax. Your premiums are deducted from your paycheck prior to taxes being applied. Coverage is portable and remains at the same price if you were to leave Omaha Track or retire. And they even offer a wellness benefit through Allstate, which can in turn, in theory, help fund your premium. While your premium is deducted from your paycheck, you have the opportunity to earn up to $50 of a cash benefit per wellness visit, which can be an annual physical, a dental cleaning, or even an eye exam. You can earn up to $100 per insured, which means 2 wellness visits, and up to $200 per policy. As I stated on the last slide, there are 2 levels of coverage, Plan 1 and Plan 2. The bottom of this slide highlights the cost of coverage at the employee-only level, employee children, employee spouse, and family for each of those levels of coverage. If you think about it, employee-only coverage at $317 a week, deducted pre-tax, won't actually feel like $3.17 from your paycheck. Typically, you can deduct about 40% of that, and instead you'd be feeling at about $2, if not less, per week from your actual gross paycheck, or net paycheck, excuse me. Then think about that wellness benefit you're going to get. If you take advantage of those wellness visits and get $100 cash back, you're essentially paying for your coverage with your wellness visits, which means pretty much nothing out of your pocket. This slide is a copy of the accident plan highlight sheet, which was included in your open enrollment packet. You can see that there is Plan 1 and Plan 2 amounts for each item that might happen as a result of an accident. It's important to understand that this is not an exhaustive list of all items that would be payable, but instead some frequently touched on items that are commonly asked about. If you have any additional questions as it relates to the accident plan, please feel free to reach out to me, Kristen Alka, your Human Resources Manager, and I'd be happy to get answers to your questions for you. The next new coverage that's available through Allstate is critical illness. Many of us know someone who has experienced a critical illness such as a stroke or a heart attack, or even been diagnosed with cancer. Similar to accident insurance, critical illness provides a cash benefit paid to you, which is paid in a lump sum benefit in the event that you or any of your insured dependents is diagnosed or experiences a covered critical illness. This is a completely voluntary benefit, just as is the accident product, and it is eligible for your coverage regardless of your enrollment in any other plan. That means even if you waive our medical plan or any and all other coverages, you are still eligible to elect either accident or critical illness, or both in the event that you wish to. Allstate is offering a guarantee issue of $20,000 of coverage for the employee and $10,000 for the spouse, which means you don't have to answer any evidence of insurability or meaning medical questions in order to get coverage. That offer is only good for this initial enrollment period, which is open enrollment for 2017. Now we're going to watch another brief video from Allstate, which focuses on the critical illness coverage we are now offering.
Do you know someone who has had a heart attack or stroke? The number of people diagnosed with a critical illness each day is staggering. So would you be financially prepared if
I apologize, the video is
you were
buffering.
diagnosed today? What would happen to your savings? Or worse yet, how would you pay your bills? Fortunately, your employer and Allstate benefits have made it easy to help you protect yourself if you or an insured family member is diagnosed with a covered critical illness. This coverage from Allstate benefits pays you cash benefits when you have a covered heart attack, stroke, major organ transplant, coronary artery bypass surgery, and more. And this insurance works well with your major medical plan, closing gaps in coverage. It pays cash benefits to help you pay for copays, deductibles, or you can even use it to help cover other payments, such as your mortgage or rent, utility bills, child care, and more. No matter how you use it, the cash benefits can help protect your finances and unburden you from some of your financial worry, allowing you to focus on getting better. Here's an example of how the coverage might work. Derek experiences chest pain and his left arm goes numb. He is transported by ambulance to the hospital and undergoes coronary artery bypass surgery. How is he going to pay all those bills? Fortunately, Derek has critical illness insurance from Allstate Benefits. A lump sum cash benefit is paid directly to him at the time he is diagnosed. Derek now has cash to help his everyday expenses while he recovers. Life and health are unpredictable. With coverage from Allstate Benefits, you can rest easier, knowing you have a sound financial plan in place if you need it. Are you in good hands? You can be.
So let's talk about critical illness coverage a little bit more. What exactly is the cost of coverage? This coverage offers issue age rates. So similar to voluntary life insurance, the premium is based on your age at the time of your coverage. However, unlike voluntary life insurance, where premiums increase as you age, even if you elected it at an earlier or younger age at a lower cost, this coverage, the critical illness through Allstate, locks in at that initial rate you are at the time that you elect or enroll in coverage. That means your rates will not go up and you'll continue to be covered under the plan. Similar to accident coverage, by offering it through Omaha Track, we save you money on your premium by offering it at the group level with reduced rates, and it also is pre-tax. Also similar to accident coverage, this coverage is portable and remains at the same price if you were to leave the company. You would just convert it to an individual policy through Allstate. The critical illness does offer a wellness benefit of $50 per year, so not as much as you would have on the accident plan, but it's still additional cash in your pocket and encourages preventative care. Allstate also offers two plan levels of coverage for the critical illness. Plan 1 offers a $10,000 basic benefit, and Plan 2 offers a $20,000 basic benefit. With Allstate, we already have the agreement that it is a guarantee issue up to that maximum of Plan 2 for all employees that elect coverage during this initial enrollment period for 2017. It's important to note that the critical illness coverage does have tobacco rates, so any employee who elects coverage for themselves and or their spouse, and where either the employee or their spouse have used tobacco products within the last 12 months, the tobacco rates would apply, and that would be the option you need to select in SyncHR. This next slide gives an overview of both the premiums on the far right-hand side by age, with the far right column showing the monthly premium and the column just to its left showing weekly premiums. The top right corner is focused on Plan 1, and the bottom right corner is focused on Plan 2. So you can see the various critical illnesses that are covered under this plan, including the cancer benefit. You can also see the wellness benefit at the bottom of that overview. It's important to note that any covered dependents, whether that be a spouse or child, would receive 50% of your basic benefit amount. It's also important to note that children are covered at no additional charge. In the event that you elect employee-only coverage, your children are automatically covered at no additional cost. If you elect employee spouse, once again, your children are covered at no additional cost. So you might wonder, why in the world would I need $10,000 or $20,000 in the event of a critical illness? You're thinking to yourself, okay, I have medical insurance with either a $1,750 or $3,500 deductible. I have disability coverage to help cover my income while I'm out of work if required to be out of work. Why would I need these benefits? It's important to still take into consideration that in the event that this happened to you, the employee, that the short-term disability has a 2-week elimination period, which means 2 weeks without pay. That could be any vacation time if you have it, but many of us don't just have 2 weeks of vacation sitting off to the side for us to use in the event of this sort of critical illness diagnosis or experience. So part of this benefit could go towards supplementing your income in that 2-week waiting period. Additionally, disability benefits only cover 60% of your regular earnings. Not many of us could handle a cut of 40% of our income while on disability and still meet many of our financial expenses that our paychecks are covering. So this benefit can also help cover and bridge that gap. Additionally, in the event that it happens to a family member, whether that be a spouse or child, in the event that you would likely want to take time off for family medical leave or a non-qualified personal leave of absence to care for your family member, you would not in fact have any income at that time. This money could be used to help supplement that gap of income to help ensure that you don't get into a tough financial situation. Additionally, many experimental treatments are sometimes options that individuals want to explore when you have a critical illness. Those typically are not covered by your major medical plan or your medical coverage. This would allow some cash that could help you pay for those types of experimental treatments. Now we'll close with some additional insurance plan overviews for products we've already had in place and will remain the same for 2017. Voluntary life and voluntary AD&D continue to be offered through Unum. There's no changes in coverage from last year. Employees are eligible for up to 5 times their annual salary, not to exceed $500,000. Coverage is offered to employees, and if you elect employee coverage, you can get up to 50% of your election for your spouse, and you can also get coverage for your children, whether it be a $5,000 benefit or a $10,000 benefit. And those who elected voluntary life during your initial enrollment, whether that be 2016's open enrollment period or as a new hire during 2016, but did not select the maximum guarantee issue of $150,000, are eligible to increase your coverage up to that amount without answering any evidence of insurability questions needing medical information. In the event that you waived coverage during your initial enrollment and are now interested in voluntary life coverage, you and potentially your spouse, if you're getting spouse coverage as well, will have to complete the evidence of insurability, also known as EOI, on the Unum website following your enrollment. Voluntary AD&D is also available at the same levels of coverage without any evidence of insurability. Voluntary life is based off age brackets. Voluntary AD&D is a flat benefit or flat premium per benefit amount regardless of your age. It's important to make sure that your beneficiaries are current in the system, which is one reason why we're doing an active enrollment this year, is to encourage everybody to review that information. Company-provided benefits through Unum. All of these are 100% employer paid and provided to all benefit-eligible employees. That includes a $50,000 basic life policy, a $50,000 basic AD&D policy, both of which, even if you waive all of your other coverage options through Omaha Track, will require you to enter beneficiary information. Also covered by the company is short-term disability and long-term disability, both of which cover 60% of your regular earnings. Looking back for the prior year W-2, which ensures that any incentive or bonus payments are included in that average earnings. Short-term disability is paid on a weekly basis for up to a maximum of $1,500 per week as of January 1st, following a 14-day elimination period. There is a maximum benefit period of 11 weeks. In the event that you're not healthy and able to return to work following that 11-week benefit period, you would roll over onto long-term disability insurance, which is paid on a monthly basis up to a maximum of $10,000 per month as of January 1st. While long-term disability does have a 90-day elimination period, that is met typically while covered on short-term disability. It's important to note that there is a maximum benefit period up to age 65 on the LTD. So now that we've gone over all of our insurance plans in detail, let's transition and talk about some important did you know type of items when it comes to your benefits with Omaha Track. Did you know about Best Care EAP? You might ask, what exactly is Best Care EAP? Our Employee Assistance Program, also known as EAP, is available to all employees and their dependents at no cost to them, and it's completely confidential. So this means you and any of your immediate family members are eligible to utilize these services at no cost, and the company will never know that you utilize them. Services include short-term counseling, up to 5 sessions per year, dependent care information and referrals, which refers to daycare, child care, elderly care, as well as legal and financial services, including consultations and referrals. Each employee is allowed a free consultation with either an attorney or a financial planner, and then any continued services with that individual would be at 25% off the regular rate. So how exactly do you contact Best Care EAP? You can contact them anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at the 1-800 number listed on the slide, or you can visit bestcareeap.org. The member ID and password is listed just off to the right and is basically a one-size-fits-all for all employees and managers. There's a host of health and wellness resources on the website, and also a link to the legal and financial services, which includes thousands of free legal and financial forms for you to use. This includes a basic will, a power of attorney, or any other legal forms that you might need to complete for yourself. Did you know about the HSA? Anyone that participates in the Omaha Track Medical Plan with Aetna is eligible for participating in the Health Savings Account. Omaha Track encourages all employees to participate by offering an initial contribution to new enrollees, as well as a dollar-for-dollar employer match, up to $25 per month for employee only, or $50 per month for employee with dependents. When you initially enroll, employee-only coverage would get $100 of seed money, and anyone with dependents would get $150 of seed money to start off your account. The Health Savings Account is a huge tax-advantaged account, which means that the IRS does have a number of guidelines over the HSA, both contributions as well as utilization of funds. For 2017, the annual contribution limits set by the government are $3,400 for individuals, meaning employee-only coverage, or $6,750 for families, meaning that you have a dependent on the plan. You can change your HSA election at any time throughout the year on your SyncHR employee portal by clicking on the little pencil icon, which is an edit button next to the Health Savings Account under your benefits summary on your MySelf page. So what exactly are the benefits of having a health savings account? Your HSA can be used to cover the cost of any qualified medical expense you or anyone experiences. So this can help cover your out-of-pocket medical expenses as well as your dental and vision expenses. You can also use your funds for other individuals even if they're not covered under your plan. Contributions to your HSA are deducted pre-tax, which thus lowers your gross income. Your money then grows tax-deferred, and once you reach a certain limit, you can even invest your money just like you would in a 401k. In the event that you use your money in your HSA account for qualified medical expenses as outlined by the IRS, you will never be taxed. You roll over your money year over year. There's no use it or lose it like many are familiar with a typical FSA or flexible spending account, or even a health spending account, which often gets confused with a health savings account. Your account is completely portable and is yours and will go with you wherever you go. The other nice thing to know is that any of your employer match is yours the second it hits your account. Your 401k employer match is subject to vesting, but there is no such thing as vesting with a health savings account. The health savings account is one of the best tax advantage tools there is under the federal government. You can use these funds to also cover health insurance premiums when you're between jobs, qualified long-term care premiums, to cover Medicare premiums and out-of-pocket expenses, as well as any living expenses in general after age 65, though you would pay ordinary income tax at that time. It's important to understand that health savings accounts are a great option to help you plan for retirement and the huge expense associated with medical care later on in life. Did you know that Aetna offers Teladoc? Teladoc is a separate company from Aetna, though Aetna covers its services. Teladoc gives you 24/7, 365 days a year access to a doctor through convenience of phone or video consults. It's an affordable option for still receiving quality medical care, and you can talk to a doctor at any time for $40 or less. So when exactly might you use Teladoc? You can use it when you need care now, such as evenings and weekends when your doctor is unavailable, or if you're unable to get in with an appointment with your doctor. If you're considering the ER or an urgent care for a non-emergency, this is a great option. It's also a great option when you're on vacation, traveling for work, or just happen to be away from home. Many times in the more rural areas, there's not a lot of options available, and a trip to the ER or urgent care can be costly, not to mention you're subjected to waiting in the waiting room to see a provider, as well as being exposed to others who might be sick in that waiting room. Teladoc is also great for short-term prescription refills. So with Teladoc, you can talk to a doctor anytime, anywhere. They treat all ages, including young children. You receive quality care via phone or online video, and you don't have to wait on hold. As soon as you call in, they'll ask for your medical information, and if it's your first time calling in, they may ask for additional medical history. You'll be able to have your electronic health records through Teladoc sent to your primary care physician, and they can even submit an electronic prescription request to your pharmacy. There's no limit on your consult, so you can take your time, and when you do call in, they will call you back. The average callback time is 16 minutes. So what are the top 10 things that Teladoc treats? Sinus problems, urinary tract infections, pink eye, bronchitis, upper respiratory infections, nasal congestion, allergies, flu, cough, and ear infection. I know if you're anything like me, it takes a lot for me to go to the doctor. If anything, I'm typically going to treat my daughter, who's just under 2 and often has the various virus of the week that comes from daycare. This is a great option for at a lower cost to still get quality care for yourself and your dependents. You can find out more information at teladoc.com/Aetna, looking up Teladoc on Facebook, giving them a call, searching for them on your mobile device, or you can also find more information on the Teladoc services for our Omaha Track Aetna plan at www.omahatrack.com/benefit-plan-documents. Did you know you have easy access to your carriers Aetna, Optum, and Ameritas online? Aetna has a fantastic website at www.aetna.com where you can create your online account. It's really easy. They'll typically default to asking for a member ID, which would be on your ID card if you have it handy, but you can also change that option and enter your Social Security number instead. It then asks for your name and your zip code, as well as some other basic information about yourself, just to link up their records to the feed that comes from Omaha Track. Once you've created your online account, if you have a smartphone, I encourage that you download the Aetna app for free from the App Store. Then you can access your electronic ID card at any time on your phone or find a provider with ease without having to select the right network or level of coverage that our Aetna plan has. It's fantastic, and I really encourage everyone to use this great resource. Optum, our health savings account provider, also has a great website at cdhaccount.optum.com. You can create your online account there and have a host of services available. And you can also download their MyCDH app for your smartphone for free from the App Store. The app allows you to view your balance and transactions at any time, while the website allows you to make additional contributions or reimburse yourself for a health expense that you might have paid out of pocket rather than using your HSA card. You can also request duplicate cards for additional family members, and you can also report a card lost or stolen or request a new card. Ameritas also has a website for our dental and vision coverage at www.ameritas.com. While their website might not be as flashy as Optum and Aetna's, they still have great resources to get a copy of your ID cards, find a provider, and view your claims. So now that we've gone over all the health and welfare benefit options, I'd like to close with touching on some upcoming 401k plan changes following the first of the year. So this slide highlights some of the key changes coming in first quarter of 2017. First, we are going to be transitioning away from John Hancock to a new record keeper. More information will be coming on this piece. We recently made the decision to move forward with Fidelity, who is a large, well-known record keeper in the 401k arena. They offer a wide range of improved services for our employees and a one-stop shop for access. I've heard many complaints, both from employees as well as internally in the office on the back end side of things, that John Hancock can be clunky, you aren't able to access the website or easily navigate the website, or even that when you call, you get sent on a wild goose chase trying to get an answer for what you need to know. I can tell you that with the transition to Fidelity, these issues will no longer be issues. It'll be a fantastic option, and we'll have a robust implementation plan in place to ensure everybody's transition is seamless and everybody is well informed and ready to go come time to make that transition. Right now we're anticipating that change will be mid to late first quarter, meaning mid to late February or even into March. As I said, more information to come on that. The remainder of these bullet points all have a January 1st effective date, which means you will very shortly be receiving information on these. One complaint we've had about our 401k plan is how long it can take to get into the plan and participate. If you're the unfortunate soul that starts in April or in October, it can be up to 9 months before you're able to contribute. As of January 1st, we revised the waiting period and entry date to be a flat 60 days for all employees. This means that there's no longer a January and July enrollment period that you have to wait for following that what was 90-day waiting period. We're also opening up Roth contributions, which means it's a post-tax employee contribution. The biggest reason we're offering Roth contributions is to allow any employees that do have a previous 401k from a former employer that they want to roll over but have been unable to do so because it includes Roth contributions, which haven't been included in our 401k plan to date. This is also a great option for employees that want to diversify their contributions and their retirement savings. What we have today in our 401k plan is all pre-tax contributions, whereas a Roth is a post-tax contribution. So one way to think about it is if you have $1,000 a week for your paycheck, if you want to contribute $100 and you're doing it pre-tax, you're only taxed on $900. If you're doing a $100 Roth contribution, you're still taxed on the full $1,000. This means you're taxed on the seed of that $100 you're putting in the plan rather than the growth or the plant, the end product after you've planted that seed, after it's grown. You're not getting taxed when you withdraw your funds later on in your life. We'll do tons of education through Qualified Plan Advisors, our financial advising firm, and make sure that there's plenty of education so employees are able to make the right decisions for themselves and their financial planning for retirement. It's important to note that Roth contributions, while they're a post-tax employee contribution, all employer match is always pre-tax. The last bullet points here on the slide talk about how Omaha Track wants to encourage retirement readiness for our employees. Many of you are already aware that we have an auto enrollment of 1%. We're increasing that amount to 3%. The average for employers nationwide is 3 to 6% for an auto enrollment. What we found and what the research has found is that many times when an employee is auto enrolled in the plan, they think their employer is making the best decision for them and ensuring that they're retirement ready. By contributing at only 1%, our employees are not going to be retirement ready. So we're increasing that auto enrollment. However, please note that you can still waive your auto enrollment. We're also going to add what's called an auto increase or an auto escalate, which means if you are auto enrolled at 3% or if you're contributing less than 6%, Each year, you'll automatically increase 1% of your deferral each year as of February 1st, up to a maximum of 6%. The idea here is to align with potential increases in pay that would take effect in February and allow you to continue to save so that you're ready for retirement. As I stated before, qualified plan advisors and our educational consultants there will be heavily involved in our transition away from John Hancock to Fidelity, but also in providing continued 401k education so our employees are able to plan appropriately and prepare for retirement. That concludes this online on-demand webinar for 2017's open enrollment period. Please remember you must complete your online enrollment wizard in SyncHR by Friday, February 2nd. Any employees that have not completed it in that week leading up to December 2nd will receive communications from HR following up to ensure that you do get that done on time. In the event that you have questions on your benefit offerings, I encourage you to visit that website, omahatrack.com/benefit-plan-documents to see if there's an answer to your question there. If you still need help, please feel free to reach out to me directly at Kristen, Kristen, @omahatrack.com or by phone at 402-932-6127. Please feel free to encourage your spouse and or other family members or friends that might be helping you in making your enrollment decisions to view this on-demand webinar or help you come up with any questions that you might have. Once again, thank you for taking the time to watch this online webinar, and we look forward to getting the open enrollment period completed. Have a great holiday season, and thank you for being a dedicated employee of Omaha Track.